Thank you. So welcome to our session, The Female Fact Technology Through a Gender Lens. As most of you probably know, only 9% of the tech startups are founded by women. And if we look at the participation rate of women in the STEAM workforce, the number doesn't look quite better. It's 23 to 25%. This means that we have too little women involved in the designing and programming of technology. And the consequence could be that women once wake up in a world, in a digitized world, that hasn't been made and developed for them. We wanted to change that, and together with our two cooperation partners, the Social Entrepreneurship Academy and the Impact Hub Berlin, we founded in 2016 F-Lane. So what is F-Lane? F-Lane is an accelerator program, and even though we are proud of it, it's also a shame. It's the first accelerator program in Europe that focuses on the female empowerment and technology aspect. What we mean with female empowerment is not only to support female founders in technology, which is quite a challenge if we look at the numbers, but we also want to support technology that betters the situation of girls and women worldwide, which means we want to support technology for women. So you will observe male teams here today that have great startups and use technology for female empowerment, because technology and female empowerment is not just a women's issue. What you can expect today is, first of all, before we start, I have to thank also our media partner, Gründerszene, and also, again, our two cooperation partners. And you will observe today 5 pitches of our F-Lane teams. These 5 teams have actually participated 7 weeks here in Berlin at our program, and today is the demo day, so it's quite exciting. And before we start that, actually, we have a great guest, and it's an honor to introduce Miriam Wohlfarth. She is a role model for female founders, I think. She has founded a company 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. She just told me that she has now 161 employees, which is quite a big number, I would say. And besides her company, she founded actually RatePay, which is in the fintech area and industry. She also is a very strong mentor and coach for women and female founders. So I thank her so much that she gives a short introduction and keynote today.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you. So I was asked last week to tell you a little bit about stories on how to build a startup and what are the ideas to do that, and how could I help you maybe with my idea. Does anybody of you know the word KYC? Is there anybody here that knows what it means? So 9 years ago, actually, KYC, I worked in the financial industry. It's a regulatory term, and it stands for Know Your Customer. And to be honest, that was the only thing I really knew about tech. I was working in tech companies since the year 2000, in payment companies, but I'm not able to code, and I would never really dive deep into tech. I just like tech a lot, and I love tech for my life. But I had a vision of what we can do with it. So actually, the Know Your Customer, that was my entry point to have an idea that was really burning in my heart. And the idea is make payments easier, especially for the women that like to pay. Because in the German market where I worked, I looked really closely on how people like to pay in the internet. Most of them paid to that time, till 2008, with credit cards and with PayPal. But I saw that a lot of companies like the Otto Group, they were really strong on payment methods that are called open invoice. So for those of you that are not German, it's something that you pay later. You receive the goods and you pay it afterwards. So why actually I think this is something women prefer, because when it comes to financial decisions, they are more on the security side than men. So most of the women actually decide to pay with open invoice or with a direct debit. They don't like so much credit cards and PayPal. That was the reason why I had this idea, and I thought that there is a gap in this payment section that would need to be fulfilled. Well, unfortunately, I went to my boss and I said to him, listen, I really think that we could really do better in the German market if we do that. But he said, no, Miriam, we don't need this. This is not so. It's an uncool thing. I said, no. And I was really burning for this. And I had, at that time, I worked on a project with some guys, and they were like the tech people. And I said to them, you know what, actually, we could do that together. If we do that together, we find a company, we build a company out of our idea. What would you think about this? And like, it took me some time to convince them, but after a while they were really burning as well. So I think sometimes it is really important that you know something that you're doing. In my case, it came from knowing my customer and knowing what they need and seeing a gap there. So it was all about the idea and what you can do with your vision. And we created a tech company. So today, this tech company, RatePay, it's 9 years old. We are here in Berlin. We have 161 people as of today. We had a turnover of almost 2 billion last year. So it has become quite a big company. And when you see that, I sometimes cannot believe it. And we do today, our company actually is doing machine learning and all these kind of crazy things. And I'm one of the managing directors. And this is sometimes, you know, when people ask me, how do you do that? How did you build a tech company without even coding? Then I can just say that tech is not only coding. I think the problem is that when we think about tech, we think about these young men wearing hoodie sweaters, drinking club mate, sitting in dark rooms and playing like warrior games. This is actually many tech or coder like role models that we have in our mind, and this is not what it's all about. For me, tech is like the new time. This is like the future, and also within tech, you have several. Let's say you need creative people, you need people with financial skills, you need people with analytical skills. You need visions and you need coders. This is all tech. It's not only coding. And this is what I can just say to all these young people thinking about how can I build a tech company when I'm not really such a techie person. It is just that you embrace the future and you embrace all the things that you can do with it. So the way actually was not always easy, because finding or starting a company is something else than building. So for the starting itself, actually the idea that was really burning, that was quite enough in my mind, and it helped me a lot. It helped me and my team to get the money in, to get the first steps done. So that was the most important thing on the beginning, to really burn for this idea, go get money in, and then start executing. But to be honest, when you do the execution, you really need diversity. And diversity is not only men and women, it's all different skills. Diversity is financial skills, it's creative skills, it's tech skills, and it's visionary skills. You have to really have a vision where you want to go, and you have to tell that to your people. And it's also about inspiring skills to others. So this was, I think, one of the stories that really made it so successful as it is today. In our team at RatePay, we have a management team. We are 4 people in the management team, and it's the CTO. She's a female, and I'm also a female. And we managed also to have 2 guys on board, so we really have a 50% male quota, which we are really proud of. No, that's just a joke, but we never had anything about quotas. It just happened, and I think that we have a quite good female quota in our company. We have almost 42% in a, let's say, fintech company, which is great, and we're really proud of this. And but I'm also so proud of all the men that work together with us, because it's not, we don't want a one-gender company, we want an all-gender company, and we really want to have talents with different skills. And I think this is something that I learned in my life, that you don't need to have one talent, you need to combine yourself with a lot of talent. So that's what it's all about. So, to wrap it up, I don't want to give you such a long story. If you want to ask me some questions later on, I'm here for a coffee or so. You can ask me or contact me via Twitter. I will respond. And if you need any advice, so it was 9 years of hard work, 9 years of a lot of failure and a lot of fun, and great things happening. So, what made it all up? Actually, first thing was the idea, burn for it and go for it and get money in. And the second thing is then execute with a great team of diversity, and diversity of many great people that have all the skills to bring it together to make it successful. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miriam. So thankful and also I know that you supported Evelyn a while ago, last year at the Republica as well. So thank you so much for your help and your support. We now start with the final pitches. Maybe a quick remark how this is going to work. Each of the startups has 5 minutes, and afterwards we have a 3 minutes possibility to ask questions. We have investors in the room, and we also have a live stream I just forgot to mention. So follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, so also the online community can actually ask questions that we hope to answer here on stage. If you don't manage to ask your question, we have the opportunity of bilateral and personal networks. So we have a networking area reserved for you guys here outside on the left side. So everybody that still has questions, just approach the teams and meet them personally. So your question will be solved by the end of the day. So let's start with our first startup from Uganda. Welcome on stage, David. He will present his startup now, and yeah, welcome on stage. It's on, yeah. And here, just yeah. Oh, yeah, it's on automatically.
Hello, everyone. It's a Wednesday, and it's a good day to start a revolution. David is my name. And 4 years ago, my co-founder, Maurice, lost his grandfather, yes, grandfather, to breast cancer. He then approached me after one of our artificial intelligence lectures. Let me tell you how the story unfolds. In the picture are over 50 women waiting for a simple breast cancer exam at the National Referral Hospital in Mulago, Kampala, where you only have 6 radiologists who are supposed to scan over 2,400 women a year. They can only do this because of the facilities. Just 2,400 women out of a population of over 20 million women in Uganda. This just doesn't work. We are a cancer-fighting organization with an aim to cause a positive global impact by bridging the gap between communities and healthcare. We have a mission, which is to accelerate the rate of early breast cancer detection, and our vision being to reduce the barriers to health for timely, life-saving treatment. Our focus is to carry out rapid breast cancer diagnosis. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Breast IT. Using the principle of ultrasound and machine learning, we embedded these two in a glove, where you carry out a self-breast exam using the glove that does imaging of the inner breast, and these images are sent to the phone while you're having a machine learning algorithm carrying out the diagnosis. This is a life changer. First of all, for just 4,999 euros, or 499 euros per month for a period of 1 year, you're able to acquire this device. In comparison to 65,000 euros that you have to pay for a single mammogram, this is definitely more affordable. It's also timely in a way that a whole complete scan takes only 2 minutes, where you're only going to carry out the scan and have your diagnosis in 2 minutes. That means we're increasing the scanning rates to about more than 60%. And also, this gives a chance to radiologists who have only 6 hours of work a day to carry out over 120 scans. This is really helpful. In the past 2 years, we've carried out digital campaigns to sensitize women about breast cancer, and these have provided significant results. Right now, we have a 4-phase roadmap, where we start with technology development and validation in our first phase, and then we go to the investment fund for our B2B product. And then in the 3rd phase, we shall develop the B2B product and deploy it. And of course, in the 4th phase, we shall use what we get from the B2B product, that's the revenue, to deploy our B2C product. We're more than B2C. We're more than B2B. We're B2Human. Before you is a team of gentlemen who really want to empower women by giving them a fighting chance. Cosmas, who is on our board of advisors, is currently pursuing his PhD in ultrasound at Rutgers University in the United States. Alvin, who is our engineer, is currently in China, also specializing in ultrasound. Myself, the lead research and development, and the mega mind, or the team lead, Maurice Atwine. This team is coming before you asking for an investment of 1.5 million euros, which will be used in the following ways. Market research in the markets we plan to expand to: UK, USA, and Canada. And then we shall go into product development, as well as product scaling, and also scaling the team, which will involve, obviously, including more women on the team. The women on the team haven't been showed here because of reasons unknown, but definitely you'll know about them. Invest in breast IT.
Thank you so much. I think this is a startup that shows quite well that you have a direct effect on women's life, so female empowerment there. What are questions, possible questions of investors, of the audience, maybe from the online community? We have 2 mics going around if you have any questions. One question over there. No, here. Just...
We have one question from the live stream. Somebody asked, what was the thing you learned most during your startup time developing your idea in Accelerator? What was the thing you learned most?
Yeah, one of the things we learned most as a team is that as a startup, you have to iterate and pivot. Also, as a team, it needs to be diversified. So more people are needed on the team, not just the experts in what you do, but also people to keep the team sane. Yeah.
More questions from the audience. Otherwise, you will also have the opportunity to ask. Oh, we have one question over there.
Okay, thank you. Great initiative. And just a quick question. Considering that the technology or what you've designed is targeting women, to what extent have you included women in the design stage and the process to understand what their experiences are in the utilization of this technology? Thank you.
So one of the first things we did was carrying out need finding, and this involved different women in different areas of Uganda. Also, our consultants in Uganda, the sonographers, are both women. And this gave us a broad perspective of what we're looking at, both in terms of ultrasound and in terms of what women go through for just a simple breast cancer scan.
We have one more question.
Oh, okay.
One row, the second row.
Congratulations on the pitch. I just wanted you to clarify a little bit more about the investment purpose. So you said you wanted to raise 1.5 million euros, and you were talking about like internationalization. So to which extent are you really like talking about that? Is like more like having your intellectual property registered in those areas, or really like going to market with only that money? Thanks.
Yeah, so the 1.5 million will be used in different places. One is market research, like I said, in these different markets, UK, USA, and Canada. Then we shall also have getting patents in the different regions, or carrying out just a worldwide patent, and also product branding, product development, as well as scaling the team.
Okay, I just see the sign that time is up. So as I mentioned already, personal questions, personal meetings right at the network after the session. Thank you so much, David. And I'm just going to keep everything you have in your hands. Okay. The second startup is the only startup from Germany, actually, and we have 2 female founders who founded Finmarie, and I welcome Kamila on stage, who will present her startup now.
Hello, I'm Kamila, and I'm the co-founder of Finmarie. Is it working? Yes. So, Finmarie is the first online wealth management platform for women in Germany. So why did we come up with this idea? Because there is unfairness. There are many challenges and problems in the financial market in Germany that can be overcome. So women earn 21% less than men in Germany. Women invest 30% less than men in Germany. And women receive 60% smaller old age security pension than men in Germany. These gaps are huge and hardly changing over time. So this is why we are here, and we want to make a change in the financial market. So let me introduce our idea from Marie's view. Marie is 35 years young. She's a working wife and mother of 2 children. She lacked financial knowledge and was unprepared to make even a small financial decision. She was not financially independent. One day, she became an important part of our Mind the Gap community, where she educates herself, becomes confident with this topic, and gains trust. Our Mind the Gap community was created with the purpose of building a financial education group for all women. And when Marie is ready, FinMarie is there for her with an individualized long-term portfolio that takes into account not only her higher life expectancy, but also all the career breaks that Marie has to take due to raising children or taking care of elderly family members. FinMarie initially will invest in exchange-traded funds that are actually a cost-effective way to achieve diversification. But our big goal is to build a sustainable fund which makes investments in female-led companies. And why? The reasons for that are straightforward. The first one, and this is really big, because female-led companies, they have higher rates of return by 2%. And then the second one, because this is consistent out and out with our mission of empowering women. Women that invest, and also women that lead the successful companies we want to invest in. So our target market are 28 million women in Germany with a lot of money, because 30% of private wealth are held by women. And honestly, we all know that when it comes to managing family budget, women have the pants on. So the market is huge with awakening interest. What makes FinMarie better than the alternative? This is our value chain, the big picture. We have significant traction through our Mind the Gap community. We want to make a positive social change, and there is really a big opportunity for women to become independent, financially independent. So FinMarie stands for financial freedom, financial independency, and financial feminism. We earn money through our transparent provision system. This is 1% of assets under management. There are no trading commissions, no hidden fees, no financial advisor salaries. And the money is protected and regulated by our partner bank, DAB BNP Paribas. We target our operational break-even point by 2020. Now we are developing our minimum viable product with our partner bank. And we plan our day one on 15th of September this year. So our team, we are 2 female founders with more than 10 years of experience in finance, combined with extensive theoretical knowledge. We are also mothers, and we care about the future of Marie, about the future of all women and girls, and we are here to make a change in the financial market. So invest in FinMarie, and please help us to constitute the statement, invest like a woman. Thank you.
Stand in the light. Okay, so we still have 3 minutes for questions. So any questions that... oh, yeah, great.
This is my co-founder, Katherine.
Hello, everyone.
Very good. So we have all the expertise on stage now. What are possible questions that you might have? We have, again, a live stream question.
Yeah, again, there is a question in our live stream. Somebody's asking, when are you planning on launching your idea?
So 15th of September this year, we want to launch our product. There will be a big conference organized by our Mind the Gap initiative, and this is also day one for FinMarie.
So more questions, maybe from the audience here in this room. We have one from...
Hi. I was going to ask, what's the difference between FinMarie and traditional, financial investment advisors?
So our main difference is, of course, that we focus basically on women. We concentrate on women lifetime salaries and calculate how much money they can earn during the life financial situation. We educate women, we take care about financial awareness, and we take about expertise.
We have one question again on the second row on the right side.
Congratulations, Kamila. How much money are you planning on raising right now? Important question for the investors.
Sorry, I didn't get it. So we are pitching for 500K for now, yes.
For what purposes?
So we want to get the big license. We need to build the fund I was mentioning, and for marketing activities.
One more live stream question over here. I don't know where the microphone is. Oh. You have a good job there.
Yeah, there's another one live stream asking, what is your business model?
So our business model is that we invest in 23 exchange trade funds. Exchange trade funds, there are financial products which are listed on the stock exchange. And we create a unique, personalized portfolio for the women. And we earn, as Kamila mentioned, with provision, the small fee, 1% asset under management per year.
Good. I don't see any more hands. This means, again, the invitation to meet these two amazing founders in a second. Thank you so much. I'm just going to take this. So now, again, a totally new technology that empowers women will be presented in a second by Katherine, and she will present 3D. Here we go. And this. Just do that right.
Hi, I'm Katherine. I'm so pleased to be here, thanks to F-Lane, to talk to you today about 3D. The only problem I have with technology is using these buttons, so we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, tech is definitely for women. So we're here, we're 3D, and we use 3D printing as a way of training women in India into new, rewarding, high-value, long-term employment. So this is the kind of woman that I work with when I go to India. This is Ravina. And the opportunities open to her usually are she might do something like training to do sewing. You can see some work that she's been doing here. She might be able to go on a beauty course. But the problem is with these training courses, they're so poorly targeted at the jobs market that around 40% of these women end up being trafficked as a result. And we just don't think this is right. The other 60%, like I said, they have the opportunity to do some training, but they end up working in roles that we think maybe are a high chance of being exploited again. So that's something like being someone in a factory or working in the service level industry. So we think these women at risk, they have so much more to offer. They're so capable, and it's our mission to support them into this long-term high-value employment using 3D printing. So how do we use 3D printing? What we've realized through our work so far is that 3D printing is really exciting. I don't know if any of you have actually had a go with it, but when you're there and you're using it, and then you see something that you've created built in front of you, it's just a really magical experience. And that is what is the basis of the education program that we're developing. So through creativity and excitement and through problem solving, we've developed a program that uses these skills to learn also the hard skills and soft skills that employers are really looking for so that these women can go in after 9 months and get this really high-value employment. So this is how we start. So a lot of the women we work with, they've never actually seen a computer before, they've not touched one. And I don't know if you remember when you were little, but playing on Paint is actually a really fun way to start using mice, to start getting used to using a computer. So this is where we start. We start using creativity from the beginning. We then move on over time and gradually improve their skills so they get really comfortable designing on the computer using CAD skills. We use 3D printers, so like I said, they get to see the things that they're designing built in front of them. And we also work on lots of other skills, because within the 3D printing supply chain, there are so many different skill sets that are valuable, not just using the CAD skills that I've mentioned, but also fixing parts and doing quality assurance and managing the machines. So how do we make money? Well, we are going to be setting up our own manufacturing facility, which is where the women we work with get trained, and we'll be making jewelry there. So jewelry is actually a really early adopter of 3D printing. I don't know if you can see these beautiful earrings that I'm wearing, but it's not all maker bots making plastic jewelry. You can actually cast some really exciting gold and silver and plated pieces, which look something like this. So the process is that we train the women, we then employ them for 1.5 years to make sure they have the best chance of getting employed after their time with us. And while they're working for us, they produce jewelry that we sell back to the Western market. The ethical fashion industry is growing. In the UK alone, it's worth 177 million. And these are the kind of businesses that we'll be targeting who want to support women into employment. This is our timeline at the moment. So as I said, we've been working in India since 2017. We've started our pilot of 10 women. They're going through our program right now. And at the beginning of 2019, we want to set up our first facility so that we can train and employ these women onwards until 2020, when we know that we'll have locked down our curriculum and our method of how to do this. From there onwards, we'd like to scale and start working with different groups across India to make sure that women can move into 3D printing employment. So today we're asking for 500K. 100K of this will help us build our facility and then keep us running for the next couple of years until we reach our break-even point, which is 15 customers. Over time, our impact is going to grow. So we have just a small facility to start with, but once we scale into different geographies, it really starts growing and growing. This is the leadership team, so there's myself, and I've had experience working with small companies and growing them to the early stage funding. My co-founder is a bit of a 3D printing rock star. He's been working in the space for over 20 years, advising big corporates how to adopt 3D printing in their supply chain. We also have experts in reintegration and psychology in our team, and these are all our partners out in India who are really excited with us to deliver the project that we're doing. And this is our first cohort. You can see they're really excited to be part of the program. And please come and support us in helping them become the next generation of tech leaders. Thank you.
Now the question part will start before you jump off stage. Okay, so again, same procedure. We still have 3 minutes for questions. Are there any questions, maybe from the live stream again, because they're quite active?
Yes, indeed. Somebody in the live stream wants to know, what's your personal background?
So I've been working in 3D printing with my co-founder for about, getting on 10 years, but I don't like to say that. So my background is not purely technical. I'm more on the operation and business side.
More questions, maybe from the audience here in the room. One question over there.
Hey there, congratulations on the pitch. Maybe a little more financial questions. You were targeting 15 customers, and I was wondering what kind of customers those are, because I'm imagining it's not the people buying your jewelry, but right. Someone else.
So we'll be operating more as a wholesaler. So we're working with a couple different brands who are interested and care about an ethical-minded consumer. So any big brands or small brands, there are some high street shops in the UK that are really interested in stocking our stuff, and also in designing and making things specially for them.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Otherwise we have one more. Hidden in the dark.
Thank you very much for this great pitch. I was wanting to find out more about the 3D sector in India, because I don't know about the demand side there for skilled labor in the 3D printing sector.
Yes, so India is a growing market right now. All of the big 3D printer manufacturers have just set up their HQs there. They're really pinpointing as that to be the next place where 3D printing is going to explode. I'd say they are probably about 5–10 years behind the rest of Europe. So here in Europe, for example, 20% of factories already use 3D printing in their workflow somehow. But I think it's still a little bit earlier there. But it's growing at about 4% year on year with the purchase of machines. And that's where we see this big barrier to 3D printing really being adopted. As the machines get cheaper and the products get cheaper, you just really need the people there to operate them. So that's the need that we're fulfilling within the market.
Good. With this promising end, I will let you go. And yeah, as I mentioned, please meet her afterwards, after our session. So, now our fourth startup comes from Pakistan. She made it. She had lots of visa challenges to actually overcome. So welcome on stage with her startup, Doctory. Tell her.
Hi everyone, my name is Maliha Khalid and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Doctory from Pakistan. And most of you sitting in this room would imagine this is an image from Pakistan, but this is actually Burning Man in America. This is Pakistan, Karachi, the largest city in the country. So Pakistan is the 5th largest country by population in the world. Karachi is the 3rd largest city in the world, and Pakistan is projected to be the fastest growing economy in Asia, overturning India in the future. Healthcare is a $1 billion market in Pakistan. However, it's only distributed in the main metro cities of the country. So Islamabad, Lahore, and Karachi. So 70% of the population living in the periphery and the rural areas of the country only travel to these cities to get access and decision-making as to who is the best doctor or physician for themselves or their family members. I shifted to Islamabad, the capital city of the country, back in year 2005. And during my high school, I was struggling with my parents' divorce and went through some traumatic healthcare experiences. And together with my mother, I had to go through 5 different experiences with 5 different doctors and 5 different diagnoses before getting to the right one. And that too was only made possible because of the network that I was connected with within my family and my friends. So Doctory basically is eliminating 80% of the hidden costs of accessing healthcare. And the reason why we are doing that is because we don't want anyone else in Pakistan to go through the same experience as I went through, or as I saw my students going through while I was teaching back in the year 2014. So the solution is simple. It's a machine learning algorithm based on the principles of search, book, and review. And the idea is no matter where in the country you are, and you need to find the best doctor for yourself or your family members, finding that person and basing your decision on your deciding criteria should be as easy as going on the website, looking at the options, and see whether you need a doctor who's near to your office, or is the consultation fee a deciding factor for you, or is the doctor's review a deciding factor for you. You make your decision, take the appointment, go to the doctor's clinic, and come back and share your experience and write a review for the 20 million other people making their own healthcare decision. So we started with a simple MVP with a WordPress website, and we were able to get 5,000 doctors excited and 15,000 users excited about using the website, but not only from Pakistan, but also Afghanistan and Kashmir. At the moment, we have released the 5th version, and we are constantly iterating and working on the user experience of the product. We are set to expand to 5 new cities within the next 12 months with 20,000 doctors, 1 million users, and starting B2B sales model for the doctors while expanding to the MENA region. And all of this was made possible because of the amazing team. I have been working in the health tech space for the past 4 years. My co-founder has been working in the public health and consumer protection side for the past 25 years now. Mike Levine is our product advisor and mentor. We have a good group of policy and medical experts working with us in turning this into a reality. So with this team, we are passionate to overcome the challenges of the highest infant mortality rate and the highest maternal mortality rate in Pakistan, while ensuring good health and well-being, reducing inequalities, and ensuring strong institutions for everyone in Pakistan. And we don't only want to do this in the healthcare space, but also for everyone getting an education in Pakistan, as well as legal or law services at any point in their life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. First of all, also thank you that you have founded a startup that I didn't even know needs to exist, because we don't have that problem, fortunately, here in Germany or in Europe. So yeah, I am now. So 3 minutes for questions. Are there any questions from the audience, from the live stream? There are from the live stream, obviously.
So first of all, one person in the live stream says hi and says, very much needed initiative for Pakistan. Good luck for you, Dr. And there's a question as well from another person. He's asking, how are you planning to convert the use of the product to make money?
Okay, so basically the business model right now, we're focusing on selling the product to the doctors. So there's a subscription model based on packages. So the first is going to just include appointment services. The second would include more integration and real-time management within the reviews. And that would be based on $25 a month. And the final would be the premium model. That would be $50 per month, which would include more of the digital presence management and more interaction with the website. We also plan on, in the future, monetizing customer services through value addition and also our databases. So currently we're working on the doctor end.
Any other questions?
Please. Love questions. Love to talk.
There's one question over there, yeah.
Hello there. Thank you very much for your pitch. I just wanted to say it's not much like a question, it's more a comment. I really think it's a pity that you came all the way from Pakistani to shine here, and the technology is not getting the light straight into your faces. So please, if somebody could advise to probably, light the people that are trying to make a difference here, that would be great.
Thank you.
That's true, yeah.
More questions. Also scan the dark. Okay, then I really thank you both, and again, the opportunity to meet you in a few minutes, personally.
Comment can I make?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so since nobody's asking questions, I think I just really want to say that Doctree is a platform that has the potential to save thousands and thousands of lives throughout Pakistan. So it's an initiative that's currently primed to take place because the internet penetration and mobile market is really, really strong within Pakistan. So this is the need of the hour, and Pakistan is in the climate where it can really do this. So please, guys, support us.
We have we have one more question after your comment. You made it.
That's a great question.
How much money?
So we're not looking for investment. We're looking for a grant of around $100,000 US. And if you can connect us with grant organizations who are working within the MENA region or are passionate about healthcare in this region, we would love that. Because Pakistan is a tough region for investors at the moment, and we understand that. So we want to get more favorable numbers where they don't have to think, oh, is the risk too high while investing in Pakistan? And just to curb that aspect, we're looking for a grant which just gets us there, increases our runway budget, and then we raise an investment of around $500,000 US.
And by the way, the risk isn't too high because it's $1 billion market.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, with this, now the time's up.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your pitch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our final startup comes half US, half African. Two male founders are coming on stage now. Thomas and Eugene, thank you so much. Here you go. I don't know who wants to go first.
Guten Tag, ich bin Eugene und das ist Thomas und wir sind Mama Bird, Fagal Muti. And we're here to talk about drones and women empowerment.
All right, are you excited to learn about Mama Bird? All right, so how did we meet? Eugene is out in Malawi, I'm in Washington, D.C., and we met through the magical power of the internet. Oh, why did we meet? We're both in the drone world. So Eugene, he's the Black Panther of drone mapping out in Malawi. He's been doing this for 3 years, and he's in computer science. I myself, I'm the Tony Stark of drone software and hardware manufacturing, and been doing this for 4 years out of Washington, D.C. Now, all jokes aside, we've been talking about drones, and one of the first things we realized out in Malawi is that there's really poor access to 4-season roads. It's kind of roads out there. And this, in turn, leads to big problems, such as infant and mother mortality, because they don't have access to good sanitation while giving birth.
And so we don't really see it as a problem of lack of access to the solutions, because there's this low-cost $5 birth kit that solves this problem for both the mother and the child in the process of giving birth, but we see it more as a problem of lack of access to these solutions. So how do we get these low-cost solutions to all these women? Well, we have the solution, just out new hybrid drone technology that can do 20 kg payload over a 60-kilometer range at a $15 price point. And while all fully automated, think of it as a Prius of the sky, and we're thinking this technology should be able to connect villages out there to resources the same way drones connected me and Thomas.
So how does this work? So a community health worker out in the villages places an order for the kits. Then in our centers, a worker puts the kits in the drone and sends it out to the villages. The drone gets unloaded, and the kits are given to the pregnant mothers. And then the drone is set back for return. What does it mean? It means with one flight, we can provide enough kits to have 15 safe births. And with the 60-kilometer range, that means with only 10 centers around Malawi, we can cover 90% of the country. That's a big difference. How do we compare? Compared to other solutions to bring those supplies, trucks and motorcycles, we're a lot more cost efficient, with better access because we don't depend on roads, and the transit time is much faster. This is a true game changer. Looking at the numbers, what we plan to do is to charge $30 per flight with a 50% margin. In 4 years, with 100 drones, we're looking at over 100,000 flights, bringing in approximately $2 million every year. But most importantly, 500,000 lives impacted every year. How do we make money? We're targeting 4 customer segments. The international NGOs, think Save the Children, UNICEF, mid-sized NGOs, individual flight sponsors like you and I, and end users like the mothers out in the villages. Now, for the mid-sized NGOs and individual flight sponsors, we have this exciting new app that we call the Mama Bird Instant Impact app. Now, everybody, take out your phones right now. Get in the app, just kidding. It's not ready yet, but what if you had a map displaying where all the supplies are needed, and you can pick the flights you want to sponsor, you can watch the flights, you can track the flights live, and then at the end, you get an instant impact report.
So, where are we in our current flight plan? We've been accepted into the UNICEF drone testing corridor in Malawi, where we'll be testing out 2 drones over a period of 2 months. And from then on, with an injection of $1 million, we'll be able to start a service with 20 drones and the app, and we believe we'll be able to scale. So, What does scaling look like? For us, scaling is moving to at least 2 or 3 other African countries by 2020, being able to carry more payloads and packages like this ready-to-use therapeutic food that solves malnutrition and stunting in under 5 babies, foldable baby boxes that solve asphyxia and malaria, and low-cost $1 glasses that help visually impaired children go to school. And we think of all this as, yeah.
Wow, what a time to be alive. Listen, we really believe this is possible, and we would like you to get involved. Shoot us an email, hello@mamabird.io, and help us take this mama bird off the ground.
I'm going to push you more to the left. No, you keep it. Thank you so much. I don't know, or you probably know, that drones are seen very negatively here in Germany especially. So I think it's a very great example how drones can actually save lives. Again, 3 minutes for questions. Who has questions, maybe from the live stream? I always look at the live stream because they are quite active. Do you have a question? No? Any other questions from the audience? Yeah, we have 2 questions over there.
Hi, thank you very much for your presentation. It's really great, the idea. Just a question, what is in this Mama kit? What is the content which can save lives?
Okay. The kit is made out of India. It has sterilized surgical blades, pads for the mother, basically providing sanitary conditions when giving birth, which is a big problem, why a lot of mothers and babies lose their lives when giving birth.
We had 1 question in the second row again. Oh.
Sorry, me first. So how do you make sure that all the mothers know how to use the birth kit or even know how to resend the drone back to you?
Well, for the birth kit, a community health worker or a health service, a midwife in the villages would be the one to call for the drone who can perform childbirth. And for the drones, we hope to make them very easy to learn, so we're hoping to teach a lot of women to be able to call for the drone through the app and be able to press a button and send it back on its way.
Okay, we had 1 question in the... Okay, we start with the live stream and then we come to you. Okay. No, and also in the second row.
She's already...
It's all right.
Over there.
Back there.
In the back. Where?
Hello, here from the back. My question is regarding the technology of the drone. So, number 1, are you building it yourself? I didn't really get it. And the second, what is your reply to an investor that has the choice between you and Zipline?
Yeah. So the drone, the base platform we get from suppliers, and then we add our drone delivery package on it. So that means a container and special ground control system to fulfill this specific scenario. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're not going to spend a lot of time and money into building the drones from scratch. However, we're adding onto the end product. And then what prevents Zipline, for instance, from buying the drone is because it's not just a drone. It's also the training that we provide out in the centers to get the people involved in how to use this technology. And of course, there's going to be some competition. It's a big space. Obviously, there's a lot of demand out there in Africa. So we wouldn't be surprised if somebody like Zipline or Matternet acquires a similar drone. But because we have the specific training, that's what we believe is one of our differences.
Unfortunately, time's up for the question. But again, the live stream question we have to postpone, I think, but you have the opportunity, not the live stream online community, unfortunately, but the rest has the opportunity to meet these 2 amazing tech guys in a second. So that was it. Thank you for your patience, for your attention. I hope that you join us now for the networking. Again, it's on the left side. You just have to go outside here. Thank you to all the teams. I think you did an amazing job. You did a great work the last 7 weeks. Before we end up, I would love to ask everybody on stage, like the Evelyn teams and the Evelyn employees and everybody who's involved with the project, to have one final picture. And then the networking can start. Thanks again to our 2 partners, Impact Hub and Social Entrepreneurship Academy, to our media partner, Gründerzene. And yeah, I hope that we see each other next year again. So come up, everybody.